So you have the target in view, but how do you aim? That's the job of the reticle. At the simplest, a reticle is just a set of crosshairs. The classic duplex reticle, which probably your grandfather used to run, has its thick outer post and its narrow fine lines in the center, and it is excellent for drawing your eye to the middle and is perfect for that fast, simple aiming. Now, as the industry has been growing, we know that technology has made our projectiles better, our loading capability better. Even what the barrels are doing themselves, we're able to shoot out at a farther distance. And we need to be able to account for that bullet drop. Now, this is where the BDC or bullet drop compensating reticle comes in. It features hash marks and dots below the center crosshair that correspond with different distances. Now, once my rifle is zeroed, I can simply hold to the appropriate marks on my target instead of adjusting my turret. But sometimes they're calibrated for a specific cartridge, so we're gonna have to spend a little bit more time at the range, truly understanding what that dot corresponds to with my particular caliber. Now, we're gonna have a couple of different options when we're looking at the reticle. But the first thing that we really need to look at is how are they measured when we're looking through there. One way is we have minute of angle. Now this is also going to be called MOA. The other one you may hear is going to be somebody saying, I have a mil radian, or also known as mil. Now these are essentially rulers inside of your scope. Each hash mark represents a specific angular measurement. So in your head you may be confused by what I just meant. Really what I'm trying to say is this is going to allow you to precisely measure the distance to a target of a known size, and it's going to allow us to help, to also hold for both bullet drop and wind with incredible accuracy. Now, you may be asking yourself, well, what is the difference between mil and MOA? And right now, when we're just looking at the reticle, it clearly has to do with the measurement of the reticle. Later on in some other videos, we're going to get into the difference in MOA and mil as to what you're used to hearing when we're talking about the turrets and when I'm dialing or trying to zero my optic. That really comes into play at that point of the videos. But right now, all you need to know is this is what the reticle does, and this is how, if I go to the range and actually practice, I can understand the measurement and the distance by using my reticle as I shoot from 100 yards out to 500, 600, 700 yards. As a hunter, having a bunch of dots and hash marks, they're gonna kind of get in my way. It could be very distracting if it's something you're not used to. So typically something that's very simple like a BDC type reticle is gonna be perfect for you. We're gonna have our horizontal or also our windage hash marks on the reticle, and then for our vertical movement, we will have the little dots coming down. That's gonna help with the bullet drop compensation there. If you'd shoot a lot of competition or you're wanting to get into competition, that reticle will change a little bit to where you want to have the Christmas tree. You want to have all the dashes and dots so you can hold for wind and hold over if you don't want to dial at a distance. So going back for hunting, I would suggest running something like a BDC type reticle. Finally, most modern day reticles are illuminated. Now this doesn't mean we're projecting laser downrange through our optic. It simply lights up the reticle itself, making it stand out against a dark target or low light conditions like dusk and dawn. Now I can speak to you from personal experience. Having an illuminated reticle is a feature that once you use, you will not want to live without it. Now, of course, when we're doing any type of hunting, it's always important to look at the rules and regulations to make sure that a illuminated reticle is legal in the state that you will be hunting in. So which reticle is for you? For most hunting inside 300 yards, a simple duplex or BDC reticle is fantastic. For precision shooting, target work, or long-range hunting, learning MOA or mil-based reticle is a skill that will pay massive dividends. Now that you understand reticles, let's talk about how that reticle behaves when you zoom. So this is going to bring up a critical choice in our optic selection. Do I run a first focal plane or a second focal plane?